It's the 6th day of the 6th month of the year. And to stay informed with the latest of news, you're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. Bringing you the news from the news desk, I am Sandro Satyajit. Before we go into your news in detail, first, your headlines.
Parliament committee to probe MV Express Pearl and MT New Diamond maritime disasters. Supreme Court determination on Provincial Council elections, amendment bill to the Speaker. Water levels of Kalu, Ging and Nilwala rivers on the rise, fishermen warned of cyclone. Over 7,000 teacher appointments on the 16th of June. Reason for circulation of illegal firearms disclosed to Parliament.
මේවා T56 තියෙනවා, T81 තියෙනවා, පිස්තෝල තියෙනවා, රිවෝල්වර් තියෙනවා.
On to your lead story this afternoon, a special parliamentary working committee has been appointed to investigate the damages caused by the Express Pearl disaster and the New Diamond ship accident and to prepare recommendations in this regard. The committee will be headed by Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana.
Sri Lanka මුහුදු කලාපයේ තුල සිදු වූ New Diamond සහ Express Pearl යන නෞකා අනතුරු පිළිබඳව
A special parliamentary working committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Ramesh Patirana to investigate and prepare recommendations regarding the Express Pearl and the MV New Diamond accidents will include the following parliamentarians in the committee: Dr. Suren Raghavan, Diana Gamage, G.L. Pires, Attorney Rauf Hakim, Vijitha Herath, Dr. Sarath Veerasekara, Miroshan Pereira, Ajit Manna Peruma, Nimal Lansa, Tushara Indunil Amrasena, Dr. Kavinda Heshan Jayawardana, Akila Ellawala, Nalaka Bandar Kottegoda and Attorney Madhura Vithanage.
The Kavinda Heshan Jayawardana මෙතුමා, Akila Ellawala මෙතුමා, Nalaka Bandar Kottegoda මෙතුමා, නීතිඥ Madhura Vithanage මෙතුමා.
Meanwhile, Speaker Mahindayappa Abeyewardena announced the Supreme Court determination on the Provincial Council Amendment legislation and the Anti-Corruption Bill on Tuesday.
I wish to announce to Parliament that I have received the determination of the Supreme Court in respect of the bill titled Anti-Corruption, which was challenged in Supreme Court in terms of Article 121(1) of the Constitution. The determination of the Supreme Court as to the constitutionality of the bill titled Anti-Corruption is as follows. Clauses 1, 21F, 22, 32, 41A, 41B, 43, 17(1), 21, 31(2), 163(2), H, 40, 48(3), 49(1), F, 51A, 53(1), 62(1), 65, 67(5), 71(6), and 8, 80, 93, 99, 101, 112, 149, 162 of the bill are inconsistent with the Constitution. However, these inconsistencies will cease if the amendment as set out in the determination of the Supreme Court are made to the bill. In addition to the said amendments, the Supreme Court has held that the learned Additional Solicitor General has informed the Court that amendments to the clauses 83, 136, 141, 142 and 156 of the bill as set out in the determination will be made to address several concerns raised by the petitioners. I order that determination of the Supreme Court be printed in the official report of today's proceedings. I wish to announce to the Parliament that I have received the determination of the Supreme Court in respect of the bill titled Provincial Council's Election Amendment, which was challenged in the Supreme Court in terms of Article 121(1) of the Constitution. Subject to the proposed amendment to the Clause 3 and deletion of Clause 4 of the bill, the Supreme Court has determined that the bill or in any of its provisions is not inconsistent with the Constitution. I order that determination of the Supreme Court be printed in the official report of the today's proceedings.
That was the headline-making story. On to other news. Cabinet approval has been granted to establish an independent regulatory institute for the betterment of the film and television industry. Now, during the Cabinet media briefing held on Tuesday, journalists questioned whether there is a link between the Independent Regulatory Institute and the Broadcasting Regulatory Act.
සිනමා සහ රූපවාහිනී කර්මාන්තය අභිවෘද්ධිය සඳහා ස්වාධීන නියාමන ආයතනයක් කියන කාරණාව මේ අනුමැතිය ලබා දුන්නේ විකාශන නියාමන කොමිසම පිහිටුවීමට අදාළ යෝජනා ලියවිල්ලටද
මේ කැබිනට් පත්‍රික
This cabinet paper was presented only regarding films. The cabinet said that this should be further extended to television as well in a more thorough manner. There is no secret regarding the Broadcasting Authority Commission. They say that this exists in UK but not in Sri Lanka. Provide us support to make our system like the one in UK. If the thorough process in UK is implemented here, then everyone would be in favour of it.
ඒක හදාගන්න කටයුතු කරන්න ඔබතුමාලගේ සහාය ලබා දෙන්න. දානියේ තියෙන වඩා පුළුල්ලු ක්‍රමවේදයේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙත් ආදේශ කළාම හැමෝම බොහොම කැමැත්තෙන් කැමති වෙයි කියලා තමයි අපි හිතන්නේ.
ඔබතුමා කැමතිද මේ වගේ පනතක් ලංකාවේ මේ මාධ්‍යායතනට හඳුන්වා දෙනවටද?
ඒකට මම සම්පූර්ණයෙන් කැමතියි.
Yes, I am in complete favour of it, be it the health sector or the education sector. Whichever the sector is, they cannot exist without a regulatory body. Nobody can say that.
උට කියන්න බෑ.
The cabinet had approved a draft a bill on contempt of a court, a tribunal or an institution.
අධිකරණයට අපහාස කිරීමේ වරද පිළිබඳ
Approval of the cabinet ministers was granted at their meeting held on the 27th of June for introducing legal enactments on contempt of court, which includes the clear and precise provisions and situational circumstances regarding the offence of contempt of court, the offence and easing the penalty as well as the procedure to follow when easing the penalty. Accordingly, clearance from the Attorney General has been granted for the draft bill prepared by the legal draftsman. Therefore, the cabinet of ministers granted approval to the proposals submitted by the Minister of Justice, Prison Affairs and Constitutional Reforms for publishing the aforementioned draft bill in the Government Gazette and subsequently to be tabled in the Parliament for its concurrence.
ඉනික්බිති පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නටත් කැබිනට් අනුමැතිය ලබා දුන්නා.
On to your weather now. According to the Met Department, heavy showers above 75 millimeters are expected in many areas of the country. Meanwhile, many low-lying areas in the Gaul, Mathura and Kalutara districts are severely inundated due to floods.
With heavy showers affecting the Gaul and Mathura districts since last night, the Nilwala River reached flood level in several areas. According to our correspondents, many surrounding low-lying areas have been inundated. The Siambalagoda-Akurasa main road was severely inundated. News First correspondents said traffic on the road was disrupted as a result. With the overflowing of the Magura Ganga, the lowlands of Magura and Nidalana, Palindanuara were inundated. Meanwhile, the Dulwella Girikola road in the Agalawatha Divisional Secretariat was inundated this morning due to heavy rains. Due to the prevailing weather conditions, one sluice gate of the Kukuleganga Reservoir was opened as well. Due to this, roads and low-lying areas of Dambala and Atambagas Handia on the Bulat Singhala Molkava main road were inundated this morning. Vehicular movement was disrupted as a result. Meanwhile, the Navy says that 4 Navy relief teams were deployed to provide relief to people affected by extreme weather conditions. Navy spokesman Captain Gan Vikramasuriya says relief teams have been deployed to the relevant areas since the 4th of June. The National Building Research Organisation said that the early landslide warnings imposed on the Badulla, Gaul and Kalutara districts are still in effect. The National Building Research Organisation added that the warnings were issued to the Passara Divisional Secretariat in the Badulla district. Early landslide warnings have been issued to Nellore, Nagoda and Alpite Divisional Secretariats in the Gaul district as well. The National Building Research Organisation further added that early landslide warnings were also issued to the Valalavita, Agalawatha and Bulat Singhala Divisional Secretariats in the Kalutara district. Residents of the relevant areas are advised to be vigilant of preemptive landslide conditions in their surroundings. Meanwhile, the Met Department says that heavy rains over 75 millimeters may occur in some places of the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts today. The department added that several spells of showers in the northwestern province can be expected as well. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva and central provinces and in the Ampara and Batticaloa districts during the evening as well. The Department of Examination says that steps have been taken to provide transportation facilities for the students sitting for the GCE ordinary level examination in areas inundated due to floods. The Commissioner General of Examinations, Amit Jayasundara, says the Disaster Management Centre and the armed forces are aiding in the transporting of the students to examination centres via military trucks and boats. The Commissioner General of Examinations further says if there are any obstacles in arriving at the examination centre due to hindrances caused by a natural disaster situation in any area, the public is urged to immediately contact the Disaster Management Centre via the number 117.
Meanwhile, health authorities have decided to implement dengue preventive measures in places of religious worship on Sunday. The National Dengue Control Unit warned that with the arrival of the monsoon rains, the spread of dengue could increase.
Director of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Nalin Aryaratna, said Dhamma schools are advised to allocate a special time period for this program. He warned that there is a high possibility that dengue larvae breeding grounds are more common near places of worship. About 10% of such locations are reported in Gampaha district and 8% in the Colombo district. The National Dengue Control Unit said that 12% of public and private sector factories have been identified as mosquito breeding grounds. Dr. Nalin Aryaratna said the percentage related to construction sites is reported as 15%. According to the National Dengue Control Unit, 41,066 dengue cases have been reported so far this year. Dr. Indikavira Singha, community physician attached to the National Dengue Control Unit, said the highest number of patients are reported from the Gampaha district. The percentage of patients reported from the Western Province alone is 49.7%.
On to other news now. Minister of Education Dr. Susil Premajantha announced in Parliament today that 7,500 National College of Education trainees will be given teacher appointments on the 16th of June as a solution for the shortage of teachers. Now, the minister made these remarks in response to a question raised by the opposition leader Sadit Premadasa.
There is a shortage of 35,000 teachers in the country. A solution in this regard could be found from the National College of Education. A shortage of 28,000 could occur. I propose to you, according to what the National Collective of Primary Services Graduates Association has proposed, there are graduates who hold primary services such as labourers, lab assistants and others, which amount to about 350 of them. I would like to most respectfully ask you to appoint them as teachers as a solution to the shortage of teachers. Usually, there is an amount of 5,000 to 6,000 teachers who resign on the 31st of December, but this has increased by two-folds. For this shortage, we will be providing teachers posts to 7,500 National College of Education trainees. This is in the national and provincial levels. Meanwhile, we have begun procedures to enroll 26,000 graduates. The 3,500 to 400 graduates that you mentioned have also applied for this exam. Even they could not sit for the exam because the exam was on Saturday, but on Thursday prior to that, a petition was given and it got cancelled. If we can conclude the judiciary's work in this regard, we can provide the examination and let them join the teacher service according to the teacher service constitution.
We Sri Lankans are facing many challenges at present. Despite our situation, we as Sri Lankans can come out of this situation stronger than before and be an example to the world. We can conquer these adversities. Sri Lanka is a nation that has overcome countless obstacles throughout history. Let's work together to build a better country for your future, my future, and the future of generations to come.
Gammetta, for the people, by the people.
On to other news now. The verdict on the application filed with the Court of Appeal challenging the parliamentary seat of State Minister Dana Gamage will be announced on the 25th of July. Now, the announcement was made when the court called for the application today.
Facts were submitted to the court along with the application stating that State Minister Dana Gamage was a British citizen. It noted that it was in violation of the constitution for a British citizen to hold a seat in Parliament. The application requested that a writ be issued on the parliamentary seat of Dana Gamage, and it was filed by civil activist Oshala Herath.
Minister of Public Security Tiran Alice says the Police Special Task Force has seized 1,163 illegal firearms in the past 3 years. He was responding to a question raised by parliamentarian Sanjeev Edrimana.
If a civil conflict is happening in the country, we can understand why illegal firearms are widely available and popular. But why are there so much illegal firearms in the country at a time like this? I think only AK-47 guns are not available. This is a serious situation. Can you reveal something in this regard? Most of the firearms today arrived to the southern province after the 30-year war. Moreover, when transporting drugs through marine routes, firearms get smuggled. An example would be when the 192 kilograms of heroin was seized in the Bandaragama police division. 10 pistols were also taken into custody. What we can do right now is to investigate and make arrests. The Police Special Task Force has arrested 1,163 illegal firearms during the past 3 years. These include T56, T81, pistols and revolvers.
T56 T81 pistol revolver.
Now, the Cabinet has reached a decision on the rationalization of value-added tax exemptions and abolition of simplified value-added tax system.
The President, as the Finance Minister, put forward a cabinet paper noting the rationalization of value-added tax exemptions and abolition of simplified value-added tax system. Two major reformations will take place. There will be limits on VAT exemptions except for education, health, agriculture relief. The simplified value-added tax methodology can be cancelled with effect of 1st January 2024 by introducing a more formal methodology for repaying the value-added tax. And it was decided to instruct the legal draftsman to prepare a draft bill for this purpose.
The Joint Association of Leasing and Debt Installment Payers points out, with the central bank's decision to lower interest rates, the increased interest rates of commercial banks and other financial institutions should also be lowered as well.
In the past few days, the central bank and other financial institutions came together and decided to reduce the interest rates. But the CBSL governor said he expects 4 commercial banks to reduce interest rates in this regard. The CBSL can issue a circular and show them guidelines to reduce interest rates. Can the CBSL governor issue circulars to only increase interest rates? All commercial banks and non-banking finance companies must reduce their interest rates. The people must receive concessions. Loan installments that were obtained at 9 to 10% interest rates were increased to 37% recently.
News first with the people.
The maiden international cruise vessel between Chennai and Sri Lanka, MV Empress, was formally flagged off by the India Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbananda Sonowal on Monday.
India's first regular international cruise passenger vessel MV Express from Chennai port will connect 3 ports in Sri Lanka. The newly launched cruise service would sail to 3 ports, Hambantota, Trincomalee and Kankasanture in Sri Lanka. The launch for the cruise service comes in the backdrop of the Memorandum of Understanding signed between Chennai Port and Waterways Leisure Tourism for domestic and international cruise service at the Incredible India International Cruise Conference in 2022. The cruise service will sail to 3 Sri Lankan ports, Hambantota, Trincomalee and Kankasanture. The tour packages on board MV Empress will be offered for 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights and 5 nights. During its run at the sea, MV Empress will be touching Hambantota port in Sri Lanka on Wednesday, Trincomalee on the northeastern coast and Kankasanture in the Jaffna district before heading back to Chennai.
Now, India's drug controller has launched a probe into the medicines exported to Sri Lanka following reports of vision loss.
The Indian drug controller is currently investigating a pharmaceutical company based in Gujarat after receiving reports from Sri Lanka that a steroid eye drop manufactured by the firm has been associated with adverse events, including cases of vision loss. The Sri Lankan government has recalled the medicine as well. The Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council of India Pharmexil has issued a notice to the company requesting information regarding the importer, receipts of the drug and details about the manufacturing license and product permissions as well. The company Indiana Ophthalmics from Badwan, Gujarat has been urged to investigate the cause of the alleged product contamination and provide their findings to take appropriate action. Failure to submit the requested information by the 3rd of June 2023 could result in the suspension of the company's registration cum membership certificate. According to reports, the prednisolone eye drop in question was administered to patients in Sri Lanka who had undergone cataract surgery. The eye drops have been linked to, quote, eye infections in over 30 individuals, unquote, as mentioned in the Pharmexil notice. This is not the first instance of contamination involving an eye drop manufactured in India. Earlier this year, the US was investigating the Esricare artificial tears, an over-the-counter eye drop produced by Global Pharma Healthcare in Chennai, India.
Now, the apparel sector stands to lose $494 million if Sri Lanka loses the GSP Plus trade concessions offered by the European Union.
Secretary General of the Joint Apparel Association Forum, Sri Lanka, Johan Lawrence, said that with the current GSP Plus regulation set to expire by the end of 2023, it is imperative that Sri Lanka takes measures to secure concessionary access to the European market. Johan Lawrence said that securing GSP Plus depends on Sri Lanka upholding the already ratified conventions spanning human rights, labour, environment and governance. He had noted that if Sri Lanka is to lose GSP Plus, the combined loss for the apparel sector is estimated at $494 million, which is 79% of the estimated trade loss.
Deputy Defense Minister Hana Maliar has said Ukrainian forces have advanced around Bakhmut, describing the eastern city as the epicenter of hostilities. Now, meanwhile, Ukraine's military said Russian forces have blown up a large dam in southern Ukraine, while the Moscow-installed official in the city of Nova Kakhovka in the Russian-controlled part of the Kherson region denied the claim.
She did not say whether a long-awaited counter-offensive had begun. Separately, Russia's military said it had repelled a new attack in the eastern Donetsk region on Monday. Bakhmut has for months been at the heart of fierce fighting. It has little strategic value, but it is important symbolically both for Kiev and Moscow. Monday's claims by Ukraine and Russia have not been independently verified. City officials said, citing preliminary information, that in the early hours of Tuesday, air raid sirens were activated for several hours all over Ukraine. In the capital Kiev, all missiles, more than 20, were shot down.
That's a wrap of Lunchtime News. Visit our social media pages to stay updated with the latest. Bringing you the news from the news desk, I'm Sandro Satyajit signing off. Have a beautiful day.